Boy, oh boy, what a crazy weekend. Oh my goodness. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I left this weekend on Thursday. Everything was fine. I come back and oh my goodness, the markets are out of control. But what does that mean? More better dips for us and bigger rips. Today we're gonna take a look at a couple coins that I feel that are gonna survive this kind of avalanche that we had, compared to some coins that probably won't survive. And these are going to be the ones that I feel like will have a really nice comeback. So we're going to dive into it. Some coins are actually still holding very, very well, but I think there's some coins that gave us a nice little entry and could still possibly lead a nice reversal. So we're going to get started with the first one, which is NEET. I like movement coins due to the fact that usually movement coins tend to survive the tail of time. And we've caught this coin twice now. This would be the second time on a nice, beautiful dip. So the first time we caught it on the dip was right around here, like 5 mil, 6 mil. It ran up back to 17. So it gave a nice little 3x. I think potentially we're going to probably look at the same thing once the market corrects and it gets a little bit better. So anything here within that 6 mil to 5 mil range, I think it's a healthy entry. But you always want to get the best entry. So you kind of probably just want to add a little bit right there, see if it dips, add a little bit more. And theoretically speaking, if it does exactly what it did last time, it should give you a nice healthy 2 to 3x. If the market returns really, really strong, I think it'll start pushing even further. But that is just, I don't want to set your expectations too high because remember, just like always, not financial advice, but in general, I think it's a very healthy, strong community coin where it won't completely bottom up. I hope. All right, the next one we're looking at, guys, is Colette. And as you guys know, once again, this is like the 7th time I call this coin, and every single time we get beautiful X's. We called the dip right here at 8 mil, ran up to 54. We also called, we've been calling this coin every single dip. Now, we're getting another nice little correction dip here down to 18 mil. It's been holding that 20 mil, 20 mil range for quite some long time. I ran from 20 all the way to 53 again, kind of testing that all-time high. Right now, it just kind of dipped below that 20 mark down to 18. So, theoretically speaking, I'm just going to be keeping an eye on this coin, not adding a lot here if you're not in it. So, you won't add like a lot, if you're going to add 10 SOL, you probably throw like 1 or 2 SOL here, maybe get like a 2x. But where you really want to see is if it actually comes in further down to like that 10 mil range, that's when you probably would add. This has a big, big margin of adding because we don't know what the market's going to do with this coin. If it's going to hold that 20 mil, if it's not going to hold it. But if it doesn't hold it, I'm looking for a nice, healthy correction down to 10. If the market still gets a little bit more choppy, I think we see that 10 drop. But right now it's holding that 18. You just want to make sure you're in it in case it gives you a nice little 2 to 3x. You're still able to get, a little bit of profit off of that and do pretty decent. But the entry right here would probably be like 10 mil, 9 mil, hopefully 8 mil range. That's kind of like the ideal entry. But one to keep an eye on, and easy. If the market turns around, potential 2x to 80%. The next one we're looking for is AVICI. As you guys know, very big component on this one. Been holding this coin and made a lot of profit on this coin when it first came out. Think right now, this is a beautiful entry here. 17 to 15, I think it's ideal entry for this one. We got the first dip here initially at 28. It ran up to 60, so it gave you a nice little 2x here. Right now it's coming down to 17, so below the 20 mark. Still think it corrects back to 60 eventually once the market gets a little bit healthy. I think the thing with this coin that I kind of like is that they're constantly pushing updates, and those updates are pretty much helping the coin stay alive. Usually what tends to happen is when the coin comes out, a bunch of hype and no updates, no nothing, and the coin just eventually starts dying out. With this one, I kind of like it because we're constantly getting updates. They're citing new bags, they're bringing in new innovation, they're doing new stuff with different companies. So you always get that advantage that the correction will eventually happen just as long as there's updates and things are keeping up on what's going on in the market. So 17, ideal entry right here. Theoretically, you're looking at here at a potential 3x. And if the market gets pretty good, I think it breaks 100K, 100 mil mark right there, that range. So long-term hold on this one, but really good positioning at the current state below that 20 mil. I think it's ideal there. Hopefully it comes down to 15. If it doesn't, 17 seems pretty good correctable dip on this one where I think we should see some beautiful upside, okay? The next one we have, guys, is this one, which is the penguin one. down kind of came down to our correction. So if you saw our recent call where we talked about white whale, I think we talked about white whale last week on our calls video. We said you're gonna want to wait for that correction of 40 to 30. It did beautiful. It came down to 30 mil, and then it bounced back to 90. So nice little 3x right there. I think we do the same thing with this penguin one. As you guys see, ran up all the way to 170 mil. Correction down here back to the 30 mil range, 29. Right now it's sitting at 34. Ideally, I think it dips a little bit more here to that 30 range. That's when you want to add, okay? 34 is not bad. Not a bad entry. Like if you're trying to, be like, I don't want to miss out if it starts pumping. But ideally, maybe it comes back here to 30 and that's where you add up, but you could still buy a little bit because what usually tends to happen is a lot of people tell me, oh man, like I was waiting for 30, I never got in. It's always going to get in with something. You don't have to go like super ape, right? You go in with a little bit something. If it comes down to 30, then that's when you scoop up a lot, but at least you're in the game in case it just corrects and keeps going up, right? Keeps going up. That's kind of what you want to look for. Ideally, I think a healthy 3x on this one is definitely possible. So nice little fun foundation here. I just don't know how much viral this would get. With white whale, it's a little bit different because the dev is really pushing it. But with this one, I feel like there's still another catalyst for it to go up. Okay, so 2 to 3x on this one as well. Very, very, very good here as we get into this one. The next one we have is Spark. As you guys know, big fan of Spark. And the reason I love this coin is because this coin, literally, all it takes for this coin to pump, which you see these two pumps right here? All this coin takes to pump is one tweet. That's it. All it takes is one tweet. Now, depending who that tweet comes from and what that tweet is retweeted about, we can literally see this coin go from 1.5 all the way to all-time high in a matter of like less than an hour. So this is a really, really good coin. And I feel like right now we're at the point with this particular coin where this is the second time you get this beautiful entry of 1.5, 1.4. And this is a long-term hold for me. I think maybe what I'm seeing here eventually, I think the coin's gonna keep bouncing up, going up. But I think where we see like the big catalyst for this one, I know you guys are gonna be like, man, I don't want to hold the coin that long. I think something like Q2, Q3, Q4. That's what I'm thinking about. Mostly I'm leaning more to Q3 and Q4 on this one because of the big announcement they had last year on Q4, right? So they announced that they were working on this model that was going to have Spark integrated into every house. I think next year, this year, we get some. Okay, the prototype's built. This is what it looks like. It's going into everybody's house. If that gets tweeted, if that gets sent, this is going to skyrocket. So I just want to be in a position where I have enough allocation for when this skyrockets. I'm in there, but this is a long-term hold for me personally. So if you don't want to be in a coin for too long, this is probably not the right coin for you. Or you get in and be like, okay, well, let's see what happens. Let me write it up and see where it goes from there. Okay. The next one we have is cards, which we're looking for a beautiful entry here down to 9 mil. Right now it's at 10 mil. Not a bad entry once again, but I still think it comes down to 9. The reason I like cards is because, once again, another company that is able to push a coin just by an update. And when I mean an update, this one doesn't really need a website update. It just needs new cards to come out. And as you guys know, new cards are coming out. We have other big companies coming in like McDonald's. We have another company that's coming in that's going to be launching some more Pokemon cards, and a new pack is also coming out. So every time a new pack comes out or a new card like the One Punch one that came out recently, you'll get the spike. You see this one went up to 30, 27. So right now, 9 to 10 mil, pretty healthy correction. A little bit of long-term hold because you kind of have to wait for the cards to come out or the cards to be posted on the website. But once the cards get posted, you get a nice uptick over 2 to 3x. So pretty healthy correction here on that 8, 10 to 9 mil range. All right. The next one we have is OneCoin, and this is a USD one pair coins. I don't know what they're doing over there in USD one. I wish I could tell you guys they're doing it the right way, but they're just like running some coins that like no one even asked for. Like for example, War, Black Horse, dude. Like no one literally asked for those. Those coins. Those are pumping. Those are doing great. I bought them, but it's not like I'm gonna be able to tell you guys buy them because literally they're all just getting manipulated, right? So out of all the USD one pairs, I think this is the best one. Unfortunately, the other one that they had, the leads actually left, but we're not going to get into too much information on that. But what I do want to mention, I think OneCoin is kind of like their pioneer coin, their main coin, 5 mil to 4 mil. I don't see this coin dipping below that. Eventually, I do see this kind of pushing back up here to like, 23, 30, possibly 40. So still from 5, to 25, that's not a bad X. or if you just do 20, that's still not a bad X. That's actually pretty good. So you just got to keep that in mind. I think this will do pretty well. Really good correction here at 5 mil, 4 mil. Just make sure that when it goes up, you take profit because it can come down again. So just keep that in mind. One coin's still pretty bullish on it. I think it's not completely over. The next one we have is Wojak. I gave you guys this last week. Told you guys, listen, it came down to 5, went back to 10, went back to like 15. That's a 3x. Recently it came down to 5 again. So hopefully that was yesterday. You guys were able to get that at 5 mil. If you did, you saw my previous video, now you guys are up at 2x. But right now, I think eventually this coin will survive this onslaught that's going on right now, where it's like, okay, boom, like coins are dipping. I think if you get another 5 mil correction, you shouldn't even think about it. You should just put a buy limit where it buys it for you at 5 mil. But 10 mil still not bad because I still think this coin runs up. So, we might see another healthy correction here to 5. You might not see it ever again, in the sense that this coin will eventually run, I think. It's just a matter of just bad timing. Every time it wants to run, something happens. Okay, but eventually I think it should theoretically do pretty decent. The next one we have is Fartcoin, and this is like a no-brainer buy for me. For example, like this one, like if I told you how much SOL I put into this one, it's over 500 SOL at this dip, and it's a no-brainer for me. I don't think it's gonna go any further down. If it did go down a little bit more, it's probably be like 200 range. Doesn't really matter. I still think it corrects. Okay, so the buying part here is like it could go lower, or this could be the last time it goes down that much, but I don't think it goes below that. Once again, not financial advice. I did ape a lot in this one. I'm not really looking for like a major like 5x, 3x on this one. Ideally, I want a 2x. That would be awesome. But if I don't get a 2x, I'm happy with a 50% or 80% on this one, just because I aped a little bit with a heavier size here. But I still think it's a really, really healthy dip. It's kind of like a no-brainer for me at the current moment. The next one we have is, this is a little bit more riskier. I kind of want to give you guys 2 risky plays today. I withheld one because I felt like, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it that much. I was like, I'm not going to mention it. I'll probably mention it on the Discord channel. So if you want to head on over our Discord server, we literally call 2x's, 3x's, 5x's, 10x's, 20x's every single day. And almost every month we're getting 100x, like maybe 2 to 3, 400x every single month. But this one's one that we called really early on the Discord server, called gold. Currently right now, it's kind of just been fluctuating between 250, 300, 250, 300. It goes from 250 to 300, it goes up to 500. And it's just kind of been steady. I think really good pickup here. Eventually, I feel like this coin's going to run because they're competing for the hackathon. And if they are able to get that allocation of the hackathon, I think they'll do pretty well. So I'm kind of front running it in a sense, to just stack up a little bit here and hope for them to actually win that hackathon. But that's pretty much where I stand on this one. A little bit riskier from the other ones we mentioned, but definitely worth the risk in my opinion. And overall, those are like the best coins that have a really crazy dip, that have a nice potential of reversing. There's other coins, but currently right now, I didn't want to mention those coins because some of them are already stacking up already. And in addition to that, some of them just didn't dip enough for you to get a really good amount of excess after, they correct themselves. So that's what we have so far this week. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys picking anyone up? Did you pick one? Which one did you pick? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.